श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम। अति मानस के ज्योतित सरसिज, दिव्य जगत जीवन के वर द्विज। चिदानंद के स्वर्णिम मनसिज, चिदानंद के स्वर्णिम मनसिज। ज्योति धाम सज्ञान प्रणाम, ज्योति धाम सज्ञान प्रणाम। श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम। दिव्य तुम्हारा परम तपोबल, अमृत ज्योति से भर दे भूतल। दिव्य तुम्हारा परम तपोबल, अमृत ज्योति से भर दे भूतल। सफल मनोरथ सृष्टि हो सकल, सफल मनोरथ सृष्टि हो सकल। श्री ललाम निष्काम प्रणाम, श्री ललाम निष्काम प्रणाम। श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम। विश्वात्मा के नव विकास तुम, परम चेतना के प्रकाश तुम। विश्वात्मा के नव विकास तुम, परम चेतना के प्रकाश तुम। ज्ञान भक्ति के श्री के विलास तुम, ज्ञान भक्ति श्री के विलास तुम। पूर्ण प्रकाम सकर्म प्रणाम, पूर्ण प्रकाम सकर्म प्रणाम। श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम। अति मानस के ज्योतित सरसिज, दिव्य जगत जीवन के वर द्विज। चिदानंद के स्वर्णिम मनसिज, चिदानंद के स्वर्णिम मनसिज। ज्योति धाम सज्ञान प्रणाम, ज्योति धाम सज्ञान प्रणाम। श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम। श्री अरविंद भक्ति प्रणाम।
Namaste, my dear brothers and sisters. The love and blessings of the Mother and Shri Aurobindo to all of you from Shri Aurobindo Ashram Delhi branch on this very auspicious day of the 24th of November, the Siddhi day. This devotional song, Shri Aurobindo Bhakti Pranam, is the intense adoration and devotion of the disciple. And she's adding her prayer to the vision of Shri Aurobindo and talking about the glory of that vision, which is for the entire world. This day, 24th November, is called Siddhi Day. Siddhi means it's sort of a great accomplishment on the path of yoga, because it was on this day in the year 1926 that Sri Aurobindo reached yet one more of his accomplishments, if one may call it that way, a peak spiritual experience. And after that, he took a decision which was a landmark in the history of Sri Aurobindo Ashram Pondicherry. He decided to go into seclusion himself so that he could concentrate on the inner work, and handed over the charge of the ashram to the mother. The ashram was hardly an ashram at that time, hardly about 25 disciples. And therefore, starting from there, the mother took it to a level where it was not only an ashram with more than 1,000 persons, more than 1,000 residents by the time she left her body in 1973, but it also had by then become a very successful experiment in the spiritual history of the world. Why this day is significant is that, firstly, after this, Sri Aurobindo could concentrate on bringing down the supramental to earth, that is a new level of consciousness which will transform the world. And on the other hand, the mother was complementing this with the other side, which was equally important, and that was to see how far in the modern world one could bring spirituality into daily life. Because over the last 1,000 years or so, there had developed a dichotomy between worldly life and spiritual life, and that had cost the country dear. And that was something which was relevant not only for India, but also for the world. And therefore, it needed an experiment to see whether the way spirituality permeated every aspect of life in the Vedic period, whether that could be also adapted to the modern conditions. And in that sense, life in the ashram at Pondicherry, which was devoid of rituals, ceremonies, and any outer forms such as a dress code and regular routine of bhajan, kirtan, and havan and such rituals, in spite of being devoid of all this, could we create a spiritual atmosphere and have apparently ordinary worldly activity going on in the ashram, yet done from the in a different spirit, so that that itself becomes a part of the spiritual quest of the seekers. So that was the experiment going on in Pondicherry, and it started in a way, you can say, with the foundation of the ashram, which was formally which is formally considered to be this day, the 24th of November, 1926, when Sri Aurobindo went into seclusion and handed over the charge of the day-to-day affairs of the ashram to the mother. Now we turn to today's subject, and that is another practical class by Preeti, who gave one class a week ago. And you have seen how she brings great energy and dynamism into the practice. And while she was demonstrating last week many of the practices which are primarily for children, she at her age was demonstrating the same type of energy which children normally have. And she'll do that again today. And in some of the practices, she'll be joined by Aditi. So since we don't have children available here, both these adults will act as children, and you'll see how much energy they bring into the whole thing. And the same energy, the same enthusiasm, and the same joy which children radiate, these adults will be radiating today in today's class.
Good morning from Delhi. It's a beautiful day today. So today's class is a little focused on the preteens and teens. As one of you had requested last time, I'll try to uh, take the session like that. Um, so they can be, the classes can be a little different as from younger children. So I'm imagining I can see one camera on already. Yes, thank you. I'm imagining we have some preteens and teens in my class today. We can start with the song is coming to my mind. Maybe we can sing a little bit of that and then make the children reflect on it. So today's song is Itni Shakti Hame Dena Data. If you know, just sing along. We'll sing few lines. इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना दूर अज्ञान के हो अंधेरे तू हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे हर बुराई से बच के चले हम जितनी भी दे भली जिंदगी दे बैर होना किसी का किसी से भावना मन में बदले ही होना हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना Let's reflect a little bit on the song with our eyes closed, asking for strength from the higher power to stay on the right path, to make the right choices, have no grudges in our life. If you have one, you can let go today. Let's begin the practice. So as you're sitting today, just close your eyes, stay with your eyes closed and see how you're feeling in the body. Just scan your body, do a self-scan and see if you want to relax anything further, maybe your face. You just take a deep face and just let go again and see if you think your forehead or your jaw and cheeks relax a little more. If you're feeling heavy in the shoulders, maybe you want to do some shoulder rolls. Reverse. And just relax and let go. Straight spine. And become aware if you felt any difference from before to now. And let's take the awareness to the breath. Are you breathing deep and long? Let's do a couple of times. Inhale and feel your abdomen come out. As you exhale, tuck it in all the way. Exhale completely. Continue. Deep inhale. And a long exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now let's learn to count our inhale and exhale breath. So in the yogic practices, we do Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. So let's check, do a self check and see how deep we inhale by just counting as Om 1, Om 2, Om 3. And when you exhale, again give a count to your breath. Start inhaling. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Continue. It's for your own self you're doing, so it's a mental counting you're doing for yourself. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. Become aware if your exhalation is longer than your inhalation. Continue. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. Two more on your own. Now become aware how you're feeling in the body and the mind from before. Now let's synchronize the breath a little bit with the movement and see what happens to our inhale and exhale. So bring your hands by the sides. You can open your eyes. And again, do that mental count and do it with the movement this time and see if there's a change in the mental count. Start inhaling as we lift our arms up. Inhale. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Exhale, bring them back. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7. Maybe the count will change a little. That's okay. Two more. Let's continue. Nice stretch and expansion in your ribs. Exhale. It's time. Good. So you see when we do a little bit with movement, so the breath can become a little deeper and longer. And that's how we do most of the yogic postures. We do it with a lot of awareness with the breath. So let's do a gentle warm up of our joints. And then we are going to do a fun and creative Surya Namaskar. It's going to be a little musical today. So quickly, a little bit of your major joints. You can stretch your legs, rotate your ankles one way, and then the other way. Tap your knees. You can fly. Tap your wings. And time to stand up and have some music. So this whatever the kind of Surya Namaskar that we're doing there today, the sequence, it came when I was doing an online workshop with some preteen and teen children. So with children, when I start with what kind of music they like to hear. And we do a lot of fun things with that. We do aerobics, I do everything with them, Zumba dance, whatever they are doing. And then gradually it's a transition. I introduce what I like to do, what music I like to listen. And then over a period of time, I see a gentle shift and I see that they start enjoying a different kind of music, which may not be as fast as the kind of music they are into, Western music or even Bollywood sometimes. So in one of the sessions, this beautiful Surya Namaskar sequence came out, which I'm sharing with you, and just follow with me. They're very simple steps. So I'll request Aditi to play this song for us. Come on the top of your mat. Gently shake your arms side to side. Maybe roll your neck a little.
I sing like the birds. I
Feel like the birds flying.
like the trees.
Grow
I
like a tree.
choose to live in love. I am joy. I
Joy.
am ease. I sing like the birds. I grow like the trees. I choose to live in
Self-love.
love. I am joy. I am ease. I sing like the birds. I grow like the
Come on your tippy toes. Grow like a
I
tree.
choose to live in love. I am joy. I am ease. I sing like the birds. I grow like the trees. I choose to live in love. I am joy. I am ease. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha.
To my side.
Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha.
Other side.
Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha.
Beautiful lyrics of the song.
This is I choose no more fear. I choose no more shame.
Warrior pose.
I choose to live in love. I am light. I am grace.
Back side.
I choose no more fear. I choose no more shame.
Surya Namaskar.
I choose to live in love. I am light. I am grace. I choose no more fear. I
Nami Ashram.
no more shame. I
And last
choose to live in love. I am light, I am
silence.
grace. I choose
Bring the
no
leg
more
forward.
fear. I choose no more
The other
shame.
side.
I choose to live in love. I am light, I am grace. I choose no more fear. I choose no more shame. I choose to live in love. I am light, I am grace. Om Shri Lakshmi
Taking apart.
Mahadevi Namaha.
God is full.
Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Yeah, yeah. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi
Full.
Namaha. Yeah. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Yeah. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha.
Right.
Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha.
And take your hand. Back in Namaskar.
Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Yeah, yeah. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Yeah, yeah. Om Shri Lakshmi
Right.
Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha.
Back. Together.
I sing like the birds. I grow like the trees. I choose to live in love. I am joy. I am ease. Little reggae. I sing like the birds. I grow like the trees. I choose to live in love. I am joy. I am ease. I sing like the birds, and I grow like the trees. Well, I choose to live in love. I am joy. I choose no more fear. I choose no more fear. Well, I choose no more shame. Well, I choose to live in love. I am light. I am grace. Well, I choose no more
The other side.
and I choose no more shame. And I choose to live in love. I am light. I am grace. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi
Thumbs up.
Namaha.
Stretch up.
Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Yeah. Om Shri
Center.
Mahadevi Namaha.
Other side.
Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Yeah. Om Shri
Center.
Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. Om Shri
Arms.
Lakshmi
Bring their nice knees.
Mahadevi Namaha. Yeah, yeah. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha.
Come up again.
Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha.
Squat.
Shri
The
Lakshmi
heart.
Namaha.
Down. Elbows Ram. Forward. Once more. Stand back. Together. And observe your breath. Bring the arms down. Let's lie down in Shavasana now. That's meets a little apart.
Softly on this earth, in the light of God's name.
Hands by the side of the body. Fingers relaxed. Drop your feet out.
I walk softly on this earth, in the light.
Relax your face. Shoulders.
I walk softly on this earth, in the
Arms
light
and palms.
of God's name. I walk softly on this earth, in the
Relax your feet.
light of God's name.
Legs.
I walk softly on this earth, in the light
Your back.
of God's name.
Chest. And abdomen.
I walk softly on this earth, in the light of God's name.
Hold your breath.
Walk softly on this earth, in the light of God's name.
Get your body loose.
I walk
Stay there
softly
for a few more
on
moments.
this earth, in the light of God's name. Softly in the light of your name.
Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your feet together and give yourself a nice stretch by taking your arms up and back. Roll over to one side. With support of both your hands, sit up. Palms. Gently cup your eyes. Feel the warmth of your hands on around your eyes and on your face. Blink and open your eyes with a smile. That was one nice musical Surya Namaskar sequence. I'm going to invite Aditi. And we're going to do some partner yoga. So if you have somebody at home, if you're at home and you can call somebody to join you, let's do some poses together as a partner. So I've also made a teaching aid, something like this, which we like to have. It's nice to have some creative expressions in your class. So I'm going to show you the pose and then we're going to do it. So we're going to try this free posture first. Thank you. Just step back. Yes. So bring both. So children love these creative ways of. It's a little challenging for them. Plus, it's nice. They like to stand with their friend or partner with a friend. Let's try one leg out. Let's try to bring. That's. You can do something like this. Take your hand out in the mudra. Make it free and see, is it free wobbly? Or are you nice and firm and grounded? You can also keep your hand on the shoulders. And slowly bring it down. Then let's do the other side also. Change sides. The other leg. Children are very observant. They see if their friends are wobbly. Again, you can take your arm out. Now bring your palms together. Let's try another one. Next we have is the chair posture. It's like learning to trust your partner and letting go, having faith. So let's try this. Step a little back as far, holding hands together. We're going to sit on our invisible phantom chair, knee like your big toe, and feel that fire in your legs, strengthening of legs. It's a wonderful way. We can have some fun here. Hold opposite hands. I just changed it for Aditi. Touch down and tap. Once more, down, tap, and up. Children like doing fun things. They like challenges. Next one is the warrior. You can have something like this put up in your class. They like to read, they like to observe, and they like talking about it also with each other. Let's try the Bhadra warrior. Supporting each other, hands on the shoulder, the other hand out, outer leg firmly grounded on the floor. Both our inner legs will go back as we bring our body down in a 90-degree from the hips. Beautiful. You come to know so much about yourself. How you're feeling today. Are you distracted? Are you firm? Are you stable? Next one is, oh, nice. A little more challenging, the downward dog. See, this makes it more challenging. So one person goes in the downward dog like this, and the other one on the hands with the feet on the back. So you are going to be the downward dog on this side. Go a little forward, yeah. Okay. Feet firm, great. Then my feet on one side. I firmly ground my hands, and then I take my a little more rubbish. No, you're okay, stay there. I put my feet on her back. Great. Beautiful. One more. It's the plank. Keeps getting tougher. Other teeth smiling. So I'm going to be in the lower position in the plank here. I'm going to be able to take her weight. Okay, let's do this. So whenever we go in the plank, it's really challenging. It really helps you build your core. So your wrist should be right under the shoulders always. You should check that for the kids also. Just a word of precaution there. And then I come into a plank. Yes, Aditi, go. I'm going to hold my ankles. Yes, and then very slowly, one leg at a time, on my shoulders, and go. She's so scared. I can take you. Stay there, stay there. Good. And down. Beautiful. Nice. How was that? Great. Oh, one more. The shoulder stand. Okay, so we're trying to go into a shoulder stand. Be really careful. Our heads don't hit each other. Come. So remove your buns and ponies so that you bring your head down. Wear your helmet. And there's a lot of teamwork. I have to be careful I don't hit her. Yes, way down. There we go. 1 second, my hair. Yeah. Hands down by the side. If you need to tuck in your t-shirt or something, do it now. Both of us are going to take our legs up and support our back. Chin tucked in, neck relaxed. Ready? One. That's okay. So depending on how far you can lift your back up. Basically, okay, let me hold you. Yeah, good. Staying here. Okay, let's turn the legs right. All right. And slowly come down. And relax. Oh, that was nice. Slowly roll over to one side and sit up. Well, children, go and do that. So we can do some partner yoga fun. And it can be, you can divide the class into groups. It can be like one team versus the other. To make it more fun and interactive, when one child is challenging the other child, the other team. Like, let's, you try doing this. And we can also have three people in a group making different poses. So you can keep taking the challenge up. Thank you. I'll introduce one or two more games which you can play with children, which is really fun. Okay. So I just recycled some old cards that I had at home. It came with the game. So it was on, I like recycling a lot of things. So I made some cute little pictures here for children. It was developed on like online sessions. So I had made these cards for them. So again, if I can have the rest of the one child keeps the eye open and the other children keep their eyes closed. And then I tell that child to give instructions. When they all open their eyes and come back on screen or in class, they open their eyes. And one child is giving instructions without acting out, but just giving instructions to go into this pose. And then you can make it more fun by asking, do you know the name of this pose? English name, Sanskrit name, make it more fun. This is going into the plank. This is the downward dog. That's an Akasana. And then you can also ask questions. Which body part do you think is challenged here? I mean, what are you working upon? It's your abdominal muscles. Okay, this is the cat. Which body part are you working on? Just fine. You have this fun game. You can again make two teams. You give one card to one person in one team, and then they make the other. Uh, they give instructions, and the other team, one member comes out, or all of them, they do the pose together. So you can have fun games like that. There's another game which I want to introduce. It's called the memory game, and children really love it. And in that, we're just going to place 10 things on the mat, 10 or 12. I'm just going to do that right now. Yeah, and we will just place any 10 things. So online also children play this. They love to bring things from their room, from their house, and you just place those things on the mat, just randomly anywhere. I have 10 things here on the mat. And you give them 30 seconds to see. I mean, it may not be so visible there. Maybe I can take this. You show them those 10 things on the mat. And then tell them to close their eyes. And then just remove one thing. And when they open their eyes, you tell them which is the thing which has gone missing. Right? So it becomes a fun game for them. That's for younger children. So yeah, that's it. We can. I have another PPT prepared today, which I'd like to share. Today it's more about what are the qualities and how the teacher has to do that inner work, which starts reflecting outside in class and also in her own life. So as we spoke last time, children are anyway very healthy beings. They experience the world in a different way as they're more in touch with that beautiful inner self, the psychic being. They find everything more beautiful. They don't make judgments. They easily forgive and forget. They see a deep harmony and they spread loving goodwill. So, what is our role as a facilitator and as a teacher? That we want that our growing children to remain in touch with that beautiful psychic being, that beautiful qualities that they express. And if for some reason they get distracted or sidetracked, how we bring it back into their lives with that psychic consciousness. And that is what psychic education and psychic parenting is all about. But it has to start with us first. We ourselves as teachers and parents have to know what it is. So just try to uh, bring that or share a little bit about it here. The psychic being is the soul, that deep inner being, that faint voice which is very clear and pure. It has the divine qualities of love, purity, peace, knowledge, joy, strength, and bliss. So it's that inner faint voice which I also mentioned, which you must have been hearing in this program, that we should listen to, which always tells us to make the right choice so that we have everlasting peace. It's an intermediary between the divine consciousness and our external consciousness. Psychic education allows the psychic being to come to the foreground, perfects and develops our mind, vital, and physical nature of the person. And last time I shared about this. that how a yoga class provides an opportunity to interconnect and have that stillness, confidence, and a peaceful mind by making it non-competitive and no judgments in class, treating everyone equally. There are no rewards, there are no punishments, and for children to feel really comfortable. Yeah, so coming to the three principles of true teaching by Sri Aurobindo, how I have seen it and how I try to bring it, and what I have learned is the first one is that nothing can be taught. Mind has to be consulted in its own growth. The third one is work from near to far. And I'm still learning, and I've learned a lot from with my association at the ashram, of course, and my mentor, Dr. Bijlani, and how we actually experienced this while we were doing the courses with him at the ashram, and how he really consulted us and he worked with us slowly, very patiently, and he tried to make it very interactive so that there was never a dull moment in class. And he has written wonderful books on it also, which uh, we can share about, and you can find it in the bookstore here. So for children, so just grab my notes here. So like it says that with children, unless they find the subject or whatever that we're teaching them interesting, they're not going to like it. And that's one challenge that I've always found. Children find yoga boring because we kind of make it boring for them. We make them sit straight all the time, and but we have to make it more warm and welcoming for them, and have to have give them space to explore, give them different kind of uh, learning experiences. Like we can introduce music, some dance, and make it more fun. And it's only when they listen to you and when they start liking it, are they going to learning from it. They're going to start learning from it. So we have to create that receptivity. And when they realize that what is being taught to them is important, there are very subtle ways which they learn. And when today also when we did breathing, so how were you feeling when you entered the class? So there was no awareness. I mean, during the day we really don't have much awareness towards our breath. But when you sit in class and when you after those deep breaths, if you feel calm, then during the day also you can remind, it will come back to their mind and they say, okay, I'm a little disturbed right now. Let me take a moment and do some deep breaths. That's how they will take it back home and try to have it or practice it during the day or whenever they feel like. So we have to make the class very interesting for them so it becomes fun and more meaningful to them. The next one. I'm going down now. Aditi, can you help? I'm not able to see the next slide here.
Um, Can you just press the arrow button?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Mind has to be consulted in its own growth. So by paying attention to each child, I know sometimes it can become very tough for a teacher who has a very, and usually in India we have classes, students, 35, maybe even 40 children. Sometimes it becomes very tough for the teacher. But she would have to make that extra effort to pay a little more attention to the child and observe and respect the way each child wants to progress, give them time, space, but not to really kind of punish them in any way or feel they should not be belittled or feeling bad. Allow the child to participate in his or her learning program. Ask them what they are liking. And then around, if children like to play a game or something, so you evolve games with them. In fact, um, I had this great opportunity to when I was working with Mirambika children, and they were so creative. And we had some very interesting games. You've all heard of Simon Says, right? So it became like Yogi Says. So we are playing the game, and if you say the word Yogi Says, and then you change the posture. But if you don't say Yogi Says, then you get out like that. And then there was this other fun game where we have this one child goes outside the classroom, and inside uh, there's one person, one child is selected who's the yogi, and he's going to change the posture. And so then we call the den inside, and then the yogi, they're all sitting in a circle, and the one child is the yogi, and we all have to just follow that yogi, follow the yogi. And then there's a tag game where you play some music and no, that's the freeze dance. Sorry. You play some music and they're all dancing. The minute the music stops, you call out a posture name and they all have to stand in that posture for a few seconds. But if they're not able to, then you're out. So there you can do some fun games in the class and children really love it. Then you allow him, I'm coming back to the slide, and you have discussions with them, see what they like to, I mean, listen to what they're expressing, and maybe you want to bring some changes in class. Maybe they want to do sometime an outdoor class. Listen to them and just try to improvise on that. See their aptitude and uniqueness, give them space to make choices, provide resourceful learning environment. When you're talking about breathing, I have shown them on YouTube or diaphragmatic breathing. I've shown them the diaphragm, their lungs, how it works. They really like watching and learning from different resource materials also. Why not? And most of all, be a living example. So what we are teaching, first we have to practice ourselves. If I'm talking to them about posture, if I'm talking to them about breath, I first myself, as a person, have to be aware of my breathing, my posture, and my work on myself, be a pleasant and a happy personality. I mean, children watch, they observe, and they learn a lot like that. So you have to be that living example for them. Yeah, okay, yeah. So just a few slides to show that we are having fun. That was in my studio. We're trying to do some mandala postures together. I like having children in a circle. So they all feel equal. I also feel I'm just like them, maybe just older in age and maybe little experience, but it's nice to have them in circle. Yeah. So now in this slide, I've children coming to me. We have done various kinds of arts and craft to where we get time to sit and chat and really express ourselves. You will see children here with recycled material. They learn to make rakhi. So provide learning material according to their age, level, need, and interest. So like today, I had made this chart for you. I mean, it's like, sorry, you can't see it. I'm not on the camera. So be a participant in the learning process of the children. So do fun activities with them. Even this is yoga, just sitting and helping each other, putting, you see how they put the glitter and the flowers. That's also yoga. It need not every time just be postures. Next slide. And the true example of going from near to far is what we did today. So like I was telling you that when I start with them, I ask them what is the kind of music they are listening to. So I've got like all kinds of requests to be played, Billie Jean and Sugar Sugar and Levitating, whatever they are listening to. I want to be aware what they're listening to. And then sometimes I say, okay, now I'm going to play what I listen to. So they get a chance to listen to that. And then how it shifts, and then how this beautiful choreography came, and they only came up with these steps of the birds flying and all the waves movement that we did with the arms. Here again you see them. So one child who was very good in this origami, he taught them how to make these butterflies. So learning from each other. Okay, so then came a time when they wanted somebody to come and do some kind of help them with their science and maths. So one child teaching the other children in small groups. Even that is yoga. Okay, so those were the three um, teaching principles by Sri Aurobindo. Now coming to the attitude of a good facilitator, have that constant will to progress yourself as a person, ever willing to learn and ready to expand in consciousness. That is perceive each day as a string of events given to them for growth of consciousness and for the preparation of their mental, vital, and physical being to become fit instruments. So I am every day learning something and making myself more fitter and a better person and being more, staying in more awareness and more conscious living. So we as a person, as a teacher and facilitators have to keep working on ourselves to kind of habits and skills to create a right atmosphere in class, be open to questions and discussions, ready to work in small groups, maybe even sometimes one-on-one. Maybe you need to talk to a child after the class or another time when you feel the child needs, there's something you can make out sometimes in class, is this child wants to share something and he's not getting that right moment. So make that right moment, reach out to them, develop meaningful and evaluation exercises and tasks. So yeah, we can, so I also like to do some interesting question answers with them. That's called preparing a yoga journal. I'll just share a few questions that I sometimes ask them. So I'll just show you again. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's overlapping. So learning to observe children closely and bring a variety in the learning material. So after this, I'll just share another small thing that I made a yoga journal for them. Capacities to be developed by a teacher, have more discipline, self-control. Like I said, children are observing you, they are watching you, how you carry your day and how you react to situations. Have that enthusiasm, have the will to know, and need for progress. Basically, the teacher should be a living example of what she wants her students to become. That's a chart showing the qualities given by the mother. I don't think it's really visible here, but yeah, qualities of goodness, harmony, peace, sincerity, humility, gratitude. Well, I'm sure this must be being covered sometime during the course as well. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so namaste. So I just like recycling, like I said. So I had this old calendar and I have some questions which I've written here for children. And after the class, I like having discussions with them. Oh, I encourage them to even write what they are talking. So I'll just share a few questions that I keep for them. So I asked them, why are you drawn to the yoga class? Do you like coming for yoga? If you're not sure, try writing down how you're feeling. So I come to know what they're not liking. Sometimes they're able to express when they write. Then I ask them, do you, if sometimes I've discussed about the concept of non-violence with them or any other episode where there has been some kind of violence and we have a discussion in class. I ask them, what does that mean to you? How can you be non-violent in your yoga practice and in your life? So I make them think. Yeah, okay. So I just recycle the whole calendar and I've got some questions here. Yeah. So with teens, I also like to discuss. Do you want to describe your boyfriend, girlfriend, or your crush? Now you write. Now you read your description, and I make them write. What do they find good about their friend, and how would you like to describe yourself? Can you list in adjectives? How do your friends describe you? How does your family describe you? So use adjectives and oh, they find me funny. they find me help. Like I'm a confident person, somebody says, and somebody says I'm helpful. If you don't know, ask them. So developing more awareness. Have you ever been in a relationship that has been stressful for you? And how did your body and mind react to that stress? Do you want to talk about that? What are some of your favorite yoga poses? Try to describe how you feel after you try them. What do you love about yourself? List. So giving them time to reflect, write a journal. It's nice to keep a small book. Have you ever felt bored in your life? How do you like to reinvent yourself? So they'll say, I want to learn a new skill or follow a different kind of a passion. So yeah, why not talk about that? Do you know when others are jealous of you? How do they act? Because in teens, the children have a lot of these issues of making, like forming groups, and they feel that this sometimes one child is teasing them, or so they want to talk about it and discuss that. What do you think would help to eliminate those jealousy feelings in you? Do you get jealous of something? So make them think on that and write about it. So yeah, as a teacher, you can come up with some issues and topics that you like to discuss in class. So we'll end this session here. Thank you. If you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask. Can you unmute yourself? I can't hear you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you. Great class.
I wish
Like
follow
becoming
some of
child
the.
again.
Oh,
Feel
good.
like
That's nice.
becoming child again.
Yes, yes, yes. I wish you had even switched on your video, and I could have seen you doing the Surya Namaskar, dancing with the music.
Thank
So
you.
do you have children or grandchildren at home?
At home, they are not there at home, but they are in the same area.
Okay. Away. But if they
But,
come to you, you do down.
sometimes they come,
Yoga
but
with
they are
them.
in a different mood because they have too many classes.
That's the problem. Yeah, we are
That's the
overloading
problem.
them.
Yes, that's the problem.
But surely if they are watching you do it, it will come back to them also. Yes.
No.
One day, why you switch on some nice music, their kind of music, and you start doing Surya Namaskar and see if they'll join you.
Yes,
Could be
yes.
their kind of.
No, they do
Yeah.
much better than me. They
That's
sometimes they
good. If
come.
they're doing that stuff.
They teach me.
So next time you tell them, let's do partner yoga. मुझे भी कराओ. Hold
It's
me,
difficult,
and
it's difficult to get them because they come at any time. There are no restriction about timings.
great, great.
And
Nice.
their
Let
timings
them
and
be.
my timings very often don't match. They are in the school this
Anyway.
time. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
I've also done yoga fun games in birthday parties. So just put on
Oh.
music and make them, yeah. So they're doing freeze dance, and then you just say, okay, everybody in tree posture. They all quickly go in tree posture. So yeah, so I remember my son's friend, he was, this was around 10, 11, he was, yeah. So they invited us, and the mother requested me to play a game. I said, okay, let's do yoga freeze dance. Yeah, we can make
Yeah,
any event.
it's a great experience. Yes.
Thank you. Anyone else? Is there anything in the chat box? Thank you. Where do you get such cards? Yeah, it's easy to make. You can recycle any card, you can just cut your regular Diwali card or something also. So now this was from a game. So on one side it was written in French. So with the game I got two sets of cards. One was in English, this was in French. Now I don't read French, so I use the other side. I just stuck a nice A4 size sheet. I just cut it into a small piece and then I just did my drawing. You can recycle any regular card.
Yeah.
And you saw how I recycled the calendar. So now this is a regular calendar of 2018, which was lying with me, and I just made a teaching aid out of it.
Yeah.
The backside is plain, right? So one
Wonderful.
side was the calendar, and on the other side I just used. And then this was another small calendar lying at home. The backside I just used to keep my yoga journal questions. It's so beautiful. I just didn't feel like
Tearing it. Yes.
throwing it away. It's so beautiful. Pictures are there. Yeah. That's it. Thank you, Sri Vidya. Thank you. Great. I'm glad you liked it. Aditi, we can now. Thank you. Thank you, Sri Vidya.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If we are done with all the questions, then we can close today's session with a moment of silence. Thank you everyone for joining.